The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill number 11144.
House Bill 11144, an act resetting the first regular elections in the Bangsamoro region in Muslim Mindanao, amending for the purpose Section 13, Article 16 of Republic Act number 11054 as amended, otherwise known as the Organic Law for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao.
Thank you very much. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the parliamentary status of House Bill number 1144 is that we are in the period of sponsorship and debate, and I move that we recognize Honorable Zia Alonso Adjong to sponsor the said measure. So move.
The Honorable Zia Alonto Adyong is recognized to sponsor the measure.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I now welcome any queries or interpellation from the floor, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize Representative Arlene Brosas of Gabriela Party List for her interpellations.
The Honorable Arlene Brosas is recognized to interpolate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, maraming salamat. Will the good sponsor, Mr. Speaker, yield to some questions, Mr. Speaker?
Gladly, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, balikan ko lang yung nakaraan na no, ng pagkakaroon ng ganitong request for postponement ng 2025 BARM election. Tama po ba na the BTA passed Resolution 641 on October 22, requesting Congress to extend the BARM transition period to 2028. Now, following this, nagkaroon ng Senate Bill 2862 and House Bill 11034 ngayon na na-file early November to postpone the 2025 BARM elections to 2026 upon President Marcos Jr.'s request. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Tama po, una, na meron pong resolusyon na na-adapt ang BTA Parliament regarding their request to postpone the election from 2025 to 2028. Tama po, meron pong counterpart legislation na po ang Senado patungkol din po sa resetting ng election sa BARM from 2025 to a later date, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Yes. Now, Mr. Speaker, yung legislative moves na ito, it came after the Supreme Court's September 9 ruling. Kasi ito yung sinasabing problema, di ba? That excluded Sulu from BARM based on the province rejection of the BOL in 2019 plebiscite. So the Bangsamoro government filed a motion on October 1 seeking to intervene and appeal for Sulu's re-inclusion in the region. At ito ang hindi pa na-actionan.
Mr. Speaker, as far as I can recall, the Supreme Court has already declared their decision as final and executory. Meaning, Mr. Speaker, yung lahat po na inihain na motion for reconsideration nung una pong nagbigay ng ruling ng Supreme Court tungkol doon sa constitutionality ng pagsama ng Sulu ay pinal na po at executory po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, that was not my question. Tinatanong ko po yung sa October 1 filing ng Bangsa government seeking to intervene and appeal for Sulu's re-inclusion in the region. Tama. Yun ba yun?
Mr. Speaker, I need to be clarified from the line of questioning of the good lady from Gabriela. Is she asking about a BTA resolution, or is she seeking these representations knowledge on the MR submitted before the Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I'm asking if there is an MR.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. There were two, if my memory serves me correct, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, dalawa po ata yung naghain ng motion for reconsideration sa Korte Suprema nung una po nilang pinataw itong ruling nila na ang Sulu po sa pagpasok niya sa BARM ay unconstitutional po dahil doon po sa nangyari noong 2019 plebiscite kung saan ang ninanais po ng Sulu ay hindi po maisali sa core teritoryo ng Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao.
So, Mr. Speaker, what happened to this appeal?
Mr. Speaker, the Supreme Court has already made its final decision na final and executory po yung kanilang naging ruling, and the Supreme Court will no longer be entertaining any motion for reconsideration on this subject matter. Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Speaker, may kinalaman din ito sa BARM postponement ng election.
Yes, tama po yan, Mr. Speaker. Isa po yan sa naging major consideration kung bakit po, Mr. Speaker, this representation along with my co-authors of this bill opted to file a bill that would reschedule the 2025 BARM elections to a later date, which is, according to the proposed bill that we have, is on May 2026, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, ngayon nais kong tanungin kung ito bang pag-postpone sa BARM election, nagkaroon ba to ng sapat na consultation, lalo na sa Moro communities, Mr. Speaker?
Una po, Mr. Speaker, yung Parliament po ng Bangsamoro Region in Muslim Mindanao, apart from yung pag-adapt po nila ng kanilang resolution, requesting that the House of Representatives and the Senate adopt a resolution to postpone the election. Apart from that, Mr. Speaker, when we held the committee hearings, Mr. Speaker, all of the stakeholders were invited during the scheduled committee hearings. So lahat po ng ating mga stakeholders, LGUs, yung mga NGOs, mga CSOs, and even those who are against this bill were invited, and they were given the time to share their inputs and their position on the subject matter, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The regular legislative meal sa atin, di ba, Mr. Speaker, I was not questioning that. Mr. Speaker, I was questioning kung meron bang consultation sa baba. Kasi yun naman yung mahalaga, di ba? For example, nagkaroon po ba ng mga town consultations, town hall consultations, nagkaroon po ba ng pagkausap sa iba't ibang mga sectors? How did the Moro people really respond, Mr. Speaker? I am asking this kasi gusto ko ring maintindihan paano yung naging process nung sa baba naman na ano ang pagtingin ng mga tao ng Moro kaugnay dito. Kasi I believe they are ready o handa silang bumoto, no? Sang-ayon sa COMELEC. Even the preparations of COMELEC ay nakahanda, Mr. Speaker.
Well, Mr. Speaker, unang-una po, ito pong panukalang batas na ito ay hindi ho ito basta-basta lang ipapa-reschedule natin ang election. Had it not been because of the Supreme Court ruling, which greatly impacts the distribution of powers to the court territories of BARM, ay mukhang hindi ho natin to papag-uusapan ngayon. Tuloy-tuloy po talaga ang election in 2025. In fact, Mr. Speaker, meron na pong pondo na nakalaan dito ang COMELEC para ituloy ang election sa BARM na simultaneously to be held with the local and national elections. Hindi ho ito natin inaasahan na nangyari. So because of the time constraint, Mr. Speaker, we are also hard-pressed with the time, considering that COMELEC will start printing their ballots on December 13. So ang api pong decision of the committee, Mr. Chair, is to simply request all the stakeholders to attend and submit their position, Mr. Speaker. Ang pinaka-rightful, kumbaga, if I may use the term, Mr. Speaker, na magiging representan ng Bangsamoro, Mr. Speaker, community ay ang parlamento mismo. The Bangsamoro Parliament has already adopted. And in fact, if we are to understand the position of the Parliament of the Bangsamoro region, Mr. Speaker, they are unanimous in requesting this House, Mr. Speaker, to postpone the election from 2025 to 2026, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, please answer my question. Simple lang po yung tanong ko eh. Ang tanong ko ay ilan ang mga naging konsultasyon sa ibaba. So, Mr. Speaker, for example, the COMELEC has
answer that
tallied
straight.
68. Wait lang Mr. Speaker. The COMELEC has tallied 68.6 million registered voters for the 2025 national, local, and BARM parliamentary elections, di ba? Mr. Speaker, yung data na nirelease ng media noong Sunday, ang exact figure ay 68.618667 with 33.690884 male votes and 34.927783 female voters. So ibig sabihin, ano naman alam natin ilan yung bilang. Now, more than 100 individuals and 8 political parties have formally declared their intent to seek seats in the regional government of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao during the region's first parliamentary elections set for May 2025. So, Mr. Speaker, nakahanda sila ng ganon, Mr. Speaker. So, why parang ang tanong ko, balikan ko lang tanong ko ulit kanina, ano yung mga naging konsultasyon kaugnay dito?
Yun nga po, Mr. Speaker, I was giving the good lady the predicate on why this bill was proposed in the first place. Tama nga po yung sabi niya. Ready na po ang Bangsamoro Region to accept yung na-mention po niya ay yung mga organizations that are willing to engage and participate in the 2025 BARM elections kasi meron pong sectoral representation ng Parliament. So the entire region is ready. Unfortunately, Mrs. Speaker, the Supreme Court has declared the question of constitutionality nung pagpasok po ng Sulu. Now, to give you a short answer, Mrs. Speaker, I'm just laying down the predicate why it led to this event. Number two, we decided, the committee has decided, since we are also pressed with time, kasi magpaprint na po ang COMELEC ng kanilang balota. Kung hindi po ito may sabatas, ay magpaprint na po ng balota ang COMELEC to be ready. Ano pong mangyayari doon sa 7 bakante na dapat ay nakaalat sa Sulu, na wala pong mai-elect na membro ng parlamento doon. Yun po yung predicament. To cut just after, after several consultation, Mr. Speaker, the committee decided na the part of the consultation per se, Mr. Speaker, kasi kailangan natin marinig, tama po yung sinabi ng ating kagalang-galang na interpellator, ay minanais po ng committee to solicit the inputs of every organizations and invite LGUs from the Bangsamoro region na umattend po sa committee hearings. At umattend naman po sila sa ating committee hearings. Kung ang tanong po ng ating kagalang-galang na interpellator, o kayo may nagkaroon ba ng public hearing or public committee hearing sa ground, 5 po or 4 na probinsya ito ang core territory ng BARM, hindi po nagkaroon ng public hearing na doon naganap sa mga core territories ng BARM. Rather, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, ay in-invite na po natin yung mga stakeholders na sila po ang magbigay ng kanilang inputs, sila po yung pumunta dito para mapag-usapan po at masabi po nila ang kanilang posisyon, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Speaker, representation pero walang public hearing sa baba. Ganon. Representation dito, no, nung committee hearing, which is how many committee hearings po? For the record, Mr. Speaker.
Nagkaroon po tayo ng, kung di ako nagkakamali, Mr. Speaker, 2 beses po tayo ng committee hearings. Yes po, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
2 committee hearing, Mr. Speaker.
Tama po yun, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Speaker, eto pong, nagkaroon din ba ng consultation sa mga aspirants na tatakbo para sa 2025 elections, considering na nakapag-file na sila ng candidacy? At ano ang resulta nito, Mr. Speaker?
Mr. Speaker, yung mga LGUs po na na-invite natin during the committee hearings, ang pagkakaalam ko po ay miyembro din po sila ng isang coalition coalition party. Tulad po ng kung sa pamunuan ngayon ng current BARM leadership, ang UBJP party, sila din po ay nag-submit ng kanilang posisyon, ay umattend din po sa kanilang committee hearing. Meron din po silang mga kandidatong pinapatakbo sa party representation. Yung ibang partido rin po na miyembro ang ilan sa mga ating mga LGUs ay nagsumiti rin po sila ng kanilang posisyon at ilan po sa kanila ay umattend po nung nagkaroon po tayo ng committee hearing, tulad nga po ng governor ng Basilan, ang governor ng Lanao del Sur, ang governor ng Maguindanao del Sur at ilan po sa mga opisyal po ng BARM at ilang mga areas po na sakop po ng Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, kasi hindi lang po ito yung mahalaga no, na malaman natin yung kaugnay sa konsultasyon. Kasi lalong-lalo na yung pulso no, ng mga Moro people. Kasi mahalaga sa atin yon. It is a democratic nilang right, no, karapatan nila na sila ay makonsulta, lalong-lalo na yung grassroots, lalo na yung sinasabi mong sectors, lalo na yung mga iba't ibang mamamayan. Kasi kung sila nga nakahanda na silang bumoto or they've been expecting this, why the rush na ito ay postpone? So yun naman yung gusto nating malaman dito. Ngayon, sa Article 16, Section 13 ng RA number 11054, ang organic law for the BARM, ang first regular election sa Bangsamoro government ay kasabay dapat ng 2022 national elections. Pero na-postpone na ito to 2025. Ngayon, balak ulit itong gawin sa May 2026. So ano po yung mga pinaka dahilan at bakit kailangan natin itong i-postpone? Kasi hindi ako komportable, Mr. Speaker, sa sinasabi ng ating sponsor na nagmamadali na ipasa ngayon. Bakit hindi i-go through yung process of democratization na magkaroon ng eleksyon, Mr. Speaker? Yun lang naman di ba? Kasi, Mr. Speaker, if it will happen na hindi nagkakaroon ng eleksyon, I think ito po ay may malaking impact no, sa mga mamamayan natin na hindi mailuklok o mailagay yung gusto nilang i-elect sa posisyon ng mga officials. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Sponsor.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, Lady Interpellator, una po, gusto ko lang pong linawin yung sa pagkakaalam ko po, ito yung first na batas na i-reset yung election. Yung nakaraang 2022 po, that's the extension of the transition period.
That's the BT.
Yes, transition period po, ang sinasabi po doon, which, as an implication of that, Mr. Speaker, also reschedules the election from 2022 to 2025. So ang panukalang batas po na naging batas nga nung panahon na iyon, nung I think, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, kung di ako nagkakamali, nung 18th or 17th Congress, ay bigyan pa ng 3 taon ang extension, transition period ng Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Ito lang po yung kauna-unahang batas na nire-reset po yung election from 2025 to 2026. Gusto ko lang pong linawin, Mr. Speaker, Ginoong Speaker, Your Honor, ito pong position ngayon ng representation ito, Mr. Speaker, is yung composition po ng parlamento. Dahil ang parlamento po, hindi po tulad dito sa national level kung saan magkaiba po ang trabaho at ang functions ng ehekutibo at ang legislatura. Doon po sa Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, combine ko po ito. The parliament can perform their legislative functions at the same time exercise executive powers. That's why, Mr. Speaker, importante po, Mr. Speaker, ang isang seat doon. Kasi yung mga seat na iyon, Mr. Speaker, that will determine kung sino po at anong partido ang magiging government of the day. Ibig sabihin, sila po yung magpapatakbo sa bureaucracia ng BARM. Ito pong desisyon ng Supreme Court na sinasabi po nila na hindi kasama ang SULU, ang 7 seats po na inalat sa SULU sa parlamento ay magiging bakante. Ngayon, may kapangyarihan ho ba ang kongresong ito para i-redistribute po ang mga seats na ito? Wala po, dahil according sa BOL, sa Republic Act 11054, exclusive power po ng parlamento na mag-redistribute sila ng kanilang mga seats, Mr. Speaker. So sa ngayon, Mr. Speaker, bibigyan ho natin sila ng pagkakataon, ang Bangsamoro Parliament, na ma-redistribute po nila yung kanilang seats para po sa puntong ito na hindi na ho kasama ang SULU, pwede po nilang i-redistribute yung 7 seats doon po sa mga remaining core territoryo na part po ng Autonomous Regional Government. Mr. Speaker, your distinguished interpolator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ano? So, binabanggit niyo po kanina, kasi actually malinaw naman sa RA 11054 ng Organic Law for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, Section 13, yung first regular election ang nakalagay. The first regular election for the Bangsamoro government under this organic law shall be held and synchronized with the 2022 national elections. At ito yung na-postpone, di ba? Tama?
Tama po. 2025 supposedly, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Now, the Commission on Elections through the Bangsamoro Electoral Office shall promulgate rules and regulations for the conduct of the elections, enforce and administer them pursuant to national laws, this organic law and Bangsamoro Electoral Code. So, yung request ng BTA for more transition time, tama? Tama ba? More?
Yung ano po, we're talking about the resolution number 641. Tama po
Tapos,
yun, Mr. Speaker.
Parang yung binabanggit nyo kasi kanina, these are general governance concerns. Yung pagkawala nung sa Sulu, di ba? Yun yung...
Tama po yun, Mr. Speaker.
Pero di ba, kung isang bahagi, hindi ba yun mariresolve dahil ito ay... parang Mr. Speaker, di ba ito ay kagustuhan pa rin na magkaroon ng election. Parang ganon, no? Just because of, I don't know kung gaano kahalaga or gaano yung kasi hindi naman ako ganon pa ka-familiar doon sa Bangsamoro Parliament, no? But nevertheless, parang Sulu is just one, right? Parang, ba't masasacrifice yung buo? If kailangan na or necessary na magkaroon ng election, Mr. Speaker.
Unang-una po, Mr. Speaker, hindi po completely na hindi magkakaroon. Gusto ko lang pong linawin. I'm sure the good interpolator knows this very well. Pero sa ating mga taong bayan, hindi po ibig sabihin na absolutely we are canceling or suspending the elections in the BARM. Kasi magboboto din po ang mga local government units. Ang tao po sa BARM ng gobernador, congressman, mga board members, mga mayors po nila, mga membro po ng sanggunian. So, boboto rin po. Ang gusto lang ho natin i-reset is yung election sa parlamento. Magkaiba po yan. Ang parlamento ho kasi, it's not as simple as saying na wala ang Sulu. And so, we will push the election even without having the 7th seat decided by the people kung sino ang representante nila. So, since na wala po ang Sulu, hindi na huboboto ang Sulu doon para sa 7 seats na representation po sa parlamento. Ngayon, pag tayo po yung magka-eleksyon, ano po yung mangyayari doon sa 7? Hindi naman po pwede rin na i-appoint natin, no? Ang interpretation po nitong kinatawan na ito ay dapat pagbigyan natin pa ng kaukulang oras ang parliament para po sila ang mag-redistribute ng 7 seats po ng Sulu doon sa mga natitira na mga areas po ng Bangsamoro. Bibigyan ko lang po ng example ang ating distinguished interpolator. Ayon din po sa batas na kanyang pong in-invoke kanina, yung reference po ninyo na 11054, sinasabi din po doon na yung district representation, ibig sabihin yung iboboto directly ng tao, magkakaroon po yan ng parliamentary participation or seat in every 100,000 population. So ibig sabihin, kung ifa-follow po natin yun po yung naging basihan kung bakit 7 ang mga district representation sa Sulu. Ngayon, since wala ang Sulu, pwede naman po nila i-redistribute yung ibang seats na yan sa other remaining areas ng BARM. Tulad po halimbawa ng Marawi City, ang population naman po namin ngayon sa Marawi City is 200,000. So pero because 80 seats ang define sa RA 11054, iisa lang ang naibigay na seat for Marawi. But in the case of this new development, that can be redistributed to other areas within the BARM. Those remaining areas within the Bangsamoro region, Mr. Speaker, distinguished interpolator.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gusto ko lang i-point out, ano yung magiging implication nito sa Bangsamoro Organic Law. Parang, di ba, hindi naman kasi yun stated or specifically stated dun sa batas. Now, it is an amendment kung ganun yung gagawin mo, di ba, Mr. Speaker? But nevertheless, ang malinaw po sa batas ng Bangsamoro Organic Law or RA 11054 ay there should be, tama, an election by 2022. Niratify pa nga yun.
2025 po.
2025.
2025. Yes po, doon po sa title po nung mismo ng proposed na batas po na pinapanukalang batas po nito, itong consolidated bills po, ay maamendahan po ang Section 13, Article 16 ng Republic Act 11054, Mrs. Speaker. Your Honor, doon po sa schedule ng pagsasagawa ng election po sa Bangsamoro Autonomous Region and Muslim Mindanao, doon po sa parlamento ng BARM.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, bakit nagre-request yung BTA ng dagdag na transition time particular? Parang ganyan.
Mr. Speaker, paumanhin po dahil hindi ko po masasagot diretso ang kanyang katanungan ng ating interpellator dahil una po, hindi po tayo miyembro ngayon ng parlamento. Pero ang isa po sa mga rason kung bakit ho nila gustong i-extend yung transition period ay may mga tulad po may mga mga establishment na kailangan po nilang put up. Ang gusto lang po namin i-cite, no? Just to be more specific about it, Mr. Speaker, ito po yung na-cite po nilang mga rason kung bakit. Number one is the exclusion of Sulu, Mr. Speaker. Number two is the petition challenging the Bangsamoro Electoral Code of 2023. Meron daw pending pa na kaso before the Supreme Court questioning the constitutionality of the code that was enacted by the Parliament. Ito po yung Bangsamoro Electoral Code. Number three, nagre-request din po ang COMELEC ng additional time to adequately prepare for the parliamentary election given the unique, complex, and novel nature of the Bangsamoro Electoral Code. Yun po yung sinabi kanina po ng ating kagalang-galang na interpellator na may mga grupo, halimbawa sa kababaihan po, kasi nakastipulate po yan sa Bangsamoro Organic Law na 10% of the seats are reserved for women, for the settler communities, and other sectors. No? Ang kaibahan po kasi dyan sa pagpipili po ng representation ng women ay hindi po sila subject to general election. Ang grupo po ng mga kababaihan ang magkakaroon po ng probably convention or they can already adopt women's group, their mechanism on how they would select their representative to the parliament. So, kailangan ho ma-establish yung mekanismo ng Bangsamoro Electoral Code. Yun po yung sinasite nila doon sa resolution nila. Kailangan din po nila ng oras at ang COMELEC para po magkaroon po ng additional requirement and mechanism and the guidelines on how they would conduct the election and so far as sectoral representation. And for the last, Mr. Speaker, ang sabi po nila, there's a survey revealed that there is limited understanding of the parliamentary elections amongst the Bangsamoro electorate. Ang sinasabi po nila sa kanilang resolution ay hindi pa daw ho sapat yung oras para maintindihan ng mga tao sa BARM kung paano yung parliamentary elections. Kaya nga po gusto nating ipaintindi na hindi ho ito completely canceling the right to suffrage because that is a constitutionally guaranteed right of every individual to elect their own leaders. Hindi ho natin kinakansela sa BARM because still, we will be holding elections in the BARM and we will be electing our new set of officers from governor down to the last member of the council. Ang sinasabi lang po natin, yung Bangsamoro Parliament, which is very much connected with the transition period and yung new development with the Sulu ruling by the Supreme Court, it leaves 7 seats vacant in the parliament, which is a substantial number to determine who's going to be the government of the day na magpapatakbo sa parlamento po na can exercise the executive powers at the same time perform its legislative functions, Mr. Speaker, distinguished interpellator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Sponsor, kasi ang sinasabi nyo ay process, di ba? Ano exactly yung ginawa ng BTA na preparation for the 2025 election mula 2022? Kasi di ba, parang dapat doon yung nangyari lahat, di ba? So, parang you had 2022, 2023, 2024, then it's 2025. So, parang, tapos ngayon, sasabihin na you have to postpone the election, ano yung ginawa nila in preparation for the, ano? So, yun yung siguro kailangang masagot dito. Kasi yun yung reason di ba? Kung bakit mo i-move. Yun yung magpo-fortify ng halaga ng pag-move ng ano. Bakit? Kasi hindi natapos yung ganito, ano yung nangyari, etc.
Mr. Speaker, I will try to supply the answers as best as I can. Considering that I cannot speak for the Bangsamoro Parliament, Mr. Speaker, I do not want to cause injustice to the position they have taken, Mr. Speaker, so far as the election for the BARM in 2025 is concerned. But I will just cite to you, Mr. Speaker, the given reasons under the adopted resolution of the Parliament 641. Ang sinabi po nila, dun sa katanungan po ng ating kagalang-galang na interpolator, anong nagawa nila? Ang sabi po nila, they have already enacted the Bangsamoro Electoral Code. And that's one of the requirement under the Republic Act 11054 para po maging handa ang Bangsamoro region sa nakaschedule na election in 2025. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, the same law was questioned before the Supreme Court. There was a petition seeking the Supreme Court for clarity kung yung mga powers po na granted to the Bangsamoro Electoral Code ay compatible with some constitutional provisions. No? There's also the question of whether there are to replace, for example, no? Kasi because of the powers of the Bangsamoro Electoral Code, some sectors in our community want clarification from Supreme Court. Dahil alam po natin, when it comes to election, iisa naman po talaga ang may inatasan ng konstitusyon para mamahala sa pagboto, canvas ng election at yung pagproklima ng mga panalo. Ito lang po ang Commission on Election. So yun po yung ginawa nila. Unfortunately, it's still pending before the Supreme Court, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Sinasabi din po nila na according to their resolution, Mr. Speaker, that they have already started submitting political parties to be able to get certification from COMELEC. Nandyan nga po yung United Bangsamoro Justice Party. This is the political party of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Meron din pong mga partido dyan, tulad ng Bangsamoro Progressive Party, ang SIAP, na ito po ay ninanais nila na mag-participate or mag-engage sa mga electorate in 2025. So, ang resolution po, Mr. Speaker, ng Parliament, because the good interpellator is asking this representation, what are the steps being taken by the Parliament? Mr. Speaker, I have cited to her number one requirement by under Republic Act 1154 is to lay down the mechanism and the guidelines on how the Bangsamoro Electoral Code would be able to be implemented insofar as the selection and the participation of all political parties in the regional parliamentary elections is concerned, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished interpellator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Sponsor. I am really puzzled doon, kasi parang